I'm driving through the transition area. There won't be any cars here. It'll be all blocked off. All the bike racks are in this parking lot to start off. And you come out here, paved concrete, and start off. I'm not sure if they're going to let us use this new pavement or not, or if we're going to have to go out on the road. This part of Weiss isn't too bad, but at the end where you turn back in, it's not great. It's a nice little hill to start you out. Go right down the hill. We go up here and we'll turn left onto Jesse Bowles Road. So you're not on this for very long. And right at the dam, right after the dam, you're going to turn left on the Jesse Bowles. You can see the dam off here to the right. And Jesse Bowles here is to the left, right after this little bridge here. And this takes you, hopefully you can keep some speed here because you go into a nice gradual hill after this left-hand turn. About, I don't know, up near the top of this hill you're at 1 mile. So when you get up this hill, and this may actually be one of the hardest hills on the whole course, but it's kind of gradual. It's not too terrible. And it'll head us up to this zigzag area of Jesse Bowles up here just a little bit ahead of us. So when you get to about here, you're sitting just under a mile when you get to the top of this hill here. There's enough of a downslope here where I don't think the next hill will be too bad, and then you'll hit the zigzag areas. But you should be able to get enough speed here to get you up to the bridge up here. I can tell we're about the 1 mile mark, somewhere around here. Still not terrible road conditions here. A little bit cracking in the road, but should be easily avoidable on the bike. This is one of the many right and left turns right in the road. I think at this point we've just passed 2 miles according to the map. Nowhere to really turn wrong here. We're still on Jesse Bowles. Once we turn left onto Cameron up here, right after that turn, we're about 3 miles. Cameron Road here, we're turning left. A little bit of a hill here, not too bad. We're just passing 3 miles here, and when we turn, we take a jog to the right. Up here on Cameron, that's about 4 miles. As you can see, not too bad, just small hills. Bit more cracking and stuff in the road here and patches. Not horrible, but not optimal for sure. Right here's the seal market. When you take a right, we're still on Cameron here. This is 4 miles. Another one of these turns where you have no choice. It's either a right or a left. Let me make sure I'm going the right way here. We stay to the left here and go on to Engelman. We're on Engelman here for a couple of miles. I just did the rookie a month ago, and when I rode this in the reverse direction last week before they changed directions, there were only a couple of decent hills here, but nothing like what you experience out at the rookie. Another kind of rolling hill here, kind of a long gradual hill here. Looked a little bit easier going the other direction. A cow that has gotten loose. That could make a bike ride interesting. So this is another right-left combination on a slight hill. Just past here we hit the 6 mile mark. Lots of corn and cows out on this route. This road doesn't appear to be too bad. Some minor cracking on it. Again, not optimal, but not horrible either. Another hard right. Hard left. Up here we're going to take left onto Melbourne Lane, and at Melbourne Lane is a 7 mile mark, which makes it a little bit more than halfway, so somewhere between that sharp left just passed and the turn on to Melbourne is about the halfway point. Melbourne here. This turn here is about the 7 mile mark. So you're more than halfway when we turn back to the west. There's a lost dog, hopefully belongs to that farm. It's a good hill up here ahead. Some of these look a tad easier going the opposite direction on them. Before we get up here to this hard right, we will hit the 8 mile mark. This hill looks not too bad, but a lot of long gradual hills, not very steep hills. So we've hit the 8 mile mark at this point. And we're about to turn right on Melbourne again. This is also, I think, 198, County Road 198. Isn't great either, but it looks like this section's been recently paved. Just past this sharp left ahead here, we're at the 9 mile mark. And this is all according to the posted map of the 13 mile route that's on the website for the race. So about here, we're about 9 miles. This is probably one of the worst looking hills here. It's pretty steep, but it levels out near the top. But you got enough of a running start that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just follow a couple of little twisty turns here. When we get up to let's see here. This is 139. We're going to turn left up here, and when we hit Row Lane, the end of Row Lane, that is the 10 mile mark. Only 3 more to go at that point. Again, some uphill here. It's gradual and rolling. Not too bad. Not too long. So you got to take a sharp right and then a sharp left here. Don't go straight. This is the end of Row Lane if you're familiar. Turn a right here, a left at this little T intersection by this little gas pipe here. And this is the 10 mile mark, and it's a fairly straight shot. This is Hoodie Lane, and then it turns into Weiss up a little bit further, and you're right back at the lake. So this is 3 miles of kind of more of the rolling hills and a couple of zigzags, but you're basically on Hoodie, and then you end up on Weiss, up on one of the little zigzags up here. So pretty flat. This is all the Blackhawk neighborhood over here to the right, where they're building new houses. The back end. This is the brand new Mott Elementary in Pville. We're just past the 11-mile mark here by the time you pass Mott. This is a quick right, quick left, so make sure you're going slower here. I think that's going to lend itself to high speed, unless you're a lot better than I am. Again, the road's not terrible, it's not great. If you can stay out of the far right here, I think you're on smooth pavement for the most part. If you're forced to the far right, just be careful where you're at, especially on some of these narrow bridges. So this is the bottom, or this is the intersection at Pville here, and at this point you're at mile marker 12. You're going to go through this intersection up here. This is the end of Kelly Lane that dead ends into the reserve. Hoping they have some traffic direction here. This is a very busy intersection, and it's a four-way stop. And you go up this series, a little bit of a hill here, and then you're back heading right into the transition area at the lake. Got a little bit of a hill here with a nice topper. It's fairly flat up here with another gradual hill. This is the really bad part, where Pville and Hoodie meet and it becomes Weiss. It's not a good road here. You can hopefully see in my video, they're building it into a 4-lane. It's brand new paved over there. I don't think they're going to let us ride on that, but if they did, it would be awesome, because this road's not fun at all. And we're back at turning it right into transition, right here at these barricade markers. And where the cars are parked is the transition area. Again, there's a little, if we're on this road, there's a little bit of a thing here, and there's a little bit of a bump where they haven't paved to the full grade. The parking lot itself is smooth. And we're back to transition. Thanks for joining me. Have a great race.